Question number 1. Right lung. Right lung is a little wider than the left lung, but it is also shorter because it has to make room for the liver, which is right beneath it. The left lung is narrow because it must make room for the heart. The right lung consists of three lobes: the right upper lobe, right middle lobe, right lower lobe. The left lung consists of two lobes: the left upper lobe and left lower lobe. Here diagram is also there. Right lung and left lung, you have to draw the diagram and label it. Question number 2. Shoulder joint. There are four shoulder joints are present in shoulder. Number 1. Sternoclavicular, acromclavicular, scapulo-orthosic joints and genofemoral joint. The shoulder joint, also known as the genal-femoral joint, is a ball and socket joint with the most extensive range of motion in the human body. The shoulder muscles have a wide range of functions, including abduction, adduction, flexion, extension, internal and external rotation. Shoulder bones. The shoulder bones is formed by the collarbone and the shoulder blade. The shoulder bones are flat and large. They help in the forming joints with long bones like hip bones. Diagram is also there. You have to draw the diagram. Question number 3. Mammary gland. The mammary gland means they are large compound sebaceous glands that females to secrete the milk. The mammary gland is a highly specialized organ present in pairs, one on each side of the anterior chest wall. The organ's primary function is to secrete milk through it is present in the both sex. It is well developed in female and rudimentary in males. Each breast or mammary glands contain 15 to 20 lobes, and each lobe is comprised of 20 to 40 terminal duct lobular unit, means TDLU. The TDLU is the functional unit of the breast. The development and functions of the mammary gland is under the control of constellation. Constellation means this ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಸಿಕ್ರಿಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು ಇದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ನಾಗ ಇಟ್ಕೊತೈತಿ. Constellation of hormones that includes the sex steroids, progesterone and estrogen, prolactin and growth hormone, insulin and catecholamic and ACTH, means adrenocorticotropic hormone. Mammary gland hormones and their functions means progesterone stimulates the development of the duct system during pregnancy. These hormones enhance further development of the mammary glands. Prolactin from the anterior pituitary stimulates the production of milk within the granular tissues, and oxytocin cause to ejection of milk from the gland. Here memory gland diagram is also there. You have to draw the diagram. Question number 4. Liver. The liver is an essential organ of the body that performs over 500 vital functions. These includes removing waste product and foreign substances from the bloodstream, regulating the blood sugar level, and creating essential nutrients. The liver is an organ located in the upper right part of the belly, means abdomen. It is beneath the diaphragm and on top of the stomach, right kidney, and intestines. The liver has many functions. Functions of liver means all the blood leaving the stomach and intestines passes through the liver. The liver processes this blood and breaks down, balance, and creates the nutrients and also metabolize drugs into forms that are easier to use for the rest of the body or that are non-toxic. Liver diagram is also there. You have to draw the diagram. Question number 5. Veins of upper limb. In terms of anteriorly supply, the upper limbs has 5 main vessels and subclavian, axillary, brachial, radial, and ulnar arteries. The subclavian and axillary brachial arteries are continuous with one another, with the brachial artery into the radial and ulnar arteries, which later covering in the hand. Okay, then you have to draw the diagram of these veins of the upper. Question number 6. Femur bone. The femur bone is the thigh bone. It is the longest, strongest bone in our body. It is a critical part of our ability to stand and move. Our femur also supports the lots of important muscles, tendons, ligaments, and parts of our circulatory system. The thigh bone or means femur bone is the large upper leg bone that continents that lower leg bones, means knee joint to the pelvic bone and hip joint into the femur. The femur is the longest and heaviest and strongest bone in the human body. Our femur has several important jobs, including holding the weight of our body when you stand and move, stabilizing you as you move, connecting muscles, tendons, and ligaments in our hip and knees to the rest of our body. Here, femur bone diagram is there. You have to draw neatly diagram. And question number 7. What are the arteries in the upper limb? There are 11 major arteries which supply to the upper limbs. Thus, Major name arteries of the upper limbs are subclavian artery, axillary artery, and brachial artery, and ulnar and radius arteries. This opens in the new windows. Major artery of the shoulder, upper arm, forearm, and hand. The subclavian, axillary, and brachial arteries are continuous with one another with the brachial artery, then bifurcating into the radial and ulnar arteries, which later converge in the hand. These arteries supply oxygenated and nutrients rich blood to the many muscles of the upper limb as well as its another structure. Question number 8. Example of synovial joint. A synovial joint is the type of joint found between the bones that move against each other, such as the joints of the limbs, shoulder joint, hip joint, elbow joint, knee joint. Characteristically, it has a joint cavity filled with the synovial fluid. So, that is called as synovial joints. There are 6 types of synovial joints are there. Means first one, elbow joint, corpus metacarpal joints, acromic clavicular joint, pivot joint, condylite joint, ball and socket hip joints. Again, you have to observe the diagram of this, that is from lower limbs to upper limb. First joint, here penile joint means between the tarsal bones. Okay, second one, condyle joint between the radius and carpal bones. Third one, this is hip joint. This is ball and socket. Fourth one, that is pivot joint between the C1 and C2 vertebrae. Fifth one, this is hinge joint means elbow joint. Then sixth one, last one is, that is the saddle joint between the corpus boni and first metacarpus bone. Okay, these are the classification of the synovial joints. Question number 9. Anatomical planes. Anatomical planes is hypothetical planes used to transect the body in order to describe the location of sutures or the direction of movements. In human and animal anatomy, 3 principal planes are used. The sagittal planes means, that is the lateral plane, is a plane parallel to the sagittal suture. Anatomical planes means in a human made in or sagittal plane. Parasagittal plane means there are transverse or axial planes. Okay, planes of reference, which is diagram. You have to draw the diagram and you have to read properly and understand. Diagram is compulsory, you have to draw the. Question number 10. Kidney. The kidneys are 2 bean-shaped organ, each about the size of a first. They are located just below the rib cage, one on each side of our spine. Healthy kidneys filter about half cup of the blood every minute, removing waste product and extra water to make urine. Main functions of the kidney means the toxins and transfers the waste into the urine. Each kidney weight about 160 gram and gets rid of between 1 and 1.5 liter of urine per day. The two kidneys together filter 200 liter of fluid every 24 hours to the blood. The kidneys are powerful chemical factories that performs the following functions. Remove the waste product from the body, remove the drugs from the body, balance the body's fluid, release hormones that regulates blood pressure, produce an active form of vitamin D that promotes strong healthy bones. Here kidney diagram is also there. You have to draw the diagram and label it properly. Question number 11. Peritoneum. The peritoneum is the serous membrane that lines the abdominal cavity. It is composed of mesothelial cells that are supported by the thin layer of fibrous tissue and is embryological derived from the mesoderma. Peritoneum is the serous membrane which lines the wall of the abdominal cavity and lies on the abdominal and pelvic organ. Between its two layers, peritoneal and visceral, is the peritoneal cavity. The peritoneum functions to support and protect abdominopelvic organs. Now, functions of peritoneal membrane. The peritoneal membrane is the smooth, transparent membrane that lines the abdominal cavity and contain the internal organs of the abdomen and pelvic, such as stomach and large intestine. The peritoneal membrane helps to protect and separate the internal structure of the abdomen and pelvis. Here diagram is also there. You have to draw the diagram. Question number 12. Larynx. Our larynx is a part of our respiratory system. It is a hollow tube that lets air passes from our throat to our trachea on the way to our lungs. It also contains our vocal cords and is essential to human speech. So, it's often called the voice box. Larynx, also called as voice box, a hollow tubular structure connected to the top of the windpipe, means trachea. Air passes through the larynx on its way to the lungs. The larynx also produces vocal sounds and prevents the passage of food and other foreign particles into the lower respiratory tract. Larynx has three main functions in our body: breathing, creating, and vocal sounds, preventing food and other particles from getting into our trachea, lungs, and other rest of our respiratory system. Here diagram is also there. You have to draw the diagram. Question number 14. Measure salivary glands. Salivary glands make saliva, which aids in digestion, keeps our mouth moist, and support healthy teeth. You have three pairs of major salivary glands under and behind our jaw: parotid, sublingual, and submandibular. The major salivary glands are the submandibular glands, sublingual glands, and parotid glands. Saliva will play an important role in supporting our oral and overall health. For example, saliva keeps our mouth and throat lubricated and comfortable, moisten food so it is easier to swallow, contains an enzyme called amylase, which helps our stomach break down starches in food. Saliva acts in relation to taste, mastication, bulbs formation, enzymatic digestion, and question number 15. Type of bones. Four different types of bones in the human body. Long bone, thin shape. Short bone has a cubit shape. Flat bone has a flat end border. Surface means irregular bone has a shape that does not conform to the above three types. There are again 7 types of bones. The bones of the human skeleton are classified by their shape: long bones, short bones, flat bones, sutural bones, scamoid bones, irregular bones, like that. First one, flat, irregular, long, short, and sigmoid bones can be classified according to their shape. Long bones, such as a femur, are longer than they are wide. Short bones, such as a carpals, are approximately equal to length, width, and thickness. Flat bones are thin but are not often curved, such as the rib. Again, here diagram is also there. Type of bone: sutural bone, long bone, short bone, scamoid bone, and irregular bone, and flat bone. You have to draw the diagram.